SuperClaw by K. Rona. It was summertime in Pawzville, and that could only mean one thing. The SuperClaw competition was just around the corner. The ad on TV showed the event in full Technicolor, chunky cheese lift. Rocket the rock. Lob the log. This was not your average cat show, oh no. This was the fluffiest, fiercest, most fur-raising event of the year. Speedy was excited. "It's almost time," she said. "I can't wait to see Max compete again. He was so close last year." Max, our lovable, puffy, nap-loving cat, peeked out from under a pile of snacko boxes. "Meh," he muttered. "I don't know, Speedy. I think I'm sitting this one out." Speedy's eyes widened. "What? But you love the SuperClaw." Max looked to the pile of boxes. "I also love snackos, and fishy nibbles, and pizza," he burped softly. "I may have oversnacked," Max admitted. "I don't feel like a SuperClaw." Speedy narrowed her eyes. This was serious. Max needed help. Not just any help, he needed Uncle McDougle. A legend among cats. A fluffball of pure muscle, wisdom, and mysterious Highland growls. "Isn't your Uncle McDougle the one who won the Highland SuperClaw 10 times? Speedy asked. Max shrugged. "Yeah. He used to pull trees out of the ground just to scratch his back." Speedy's paw was already on the phone. "We're calling him." The next morning, McDougle arrived in a puff of tartan smoke, wearing a kilt, lifting 2 logs like drumsticks, and purring like a lion with a foghorn. "Max. Me lad. Let's turn that fluff into stuff." And so, the training began. They flipped boulders. They clawed tree trunks, with permission. They lifted logs while balancing cans of sardines on their heads. But McDougle wasn't just about strength. "Nephew," he said one evening, watching the sun dip over Pawzville hills. "It's not about winning. It's about the pursuit of fun. And doing your best." Max blinked, listening to the wise words. Finally, the big day arrived. The SuperClaw stadium was packed with cats, including Speedy wearing a t-shirt that said, "Claw Power." Max stood ready. In front of him, the heavy cheese, paws ready, tail twitching. He didn't feel perfect, but he felt ready. Next to him were Big Dave and Big Dan, the strongest competitors in Pawzville. They were all ready for the chunky cheese lift. The whistle blew. Max's, Big Dave's, and Big Dan's paws were already on the big metal bars, each one holding a giant cheese wheel at the ends. Big Dave and Big Dan lifted the cheese like it was just a couple of fluffy cat cushions. But Max? The moment that cheesy smell floated into his nose, thud. He dropped the cheese. Then came the Rocket the Rock event. Big Dave threw his rock, and it landed in the swamp. The rock just sank, never to be seen again. Big Dan threw his rock, but it hit a tree and came back, landing just in front of his paws. Now it was Max's turn. He threw the rock so far it scared the SuperClaw judge, which stepped out of the way just in time. Now was the final trial, lob the log. Big Dave and Big Dan lobbed the logs, which, in the rules, had to flip over to be counted. But they lobbed the logs so hard they just stuck in the ground looking like trees without treetops. But now was the moment for Max to show them what he's made of. He took a deep breath, and with all his might, he lobbed the log. The log flew into the air and landed upright, swaying side to side. Everyone was holding their breath, with whispers in the crowd saying, "Is the log going to tip over?" Max closed his eyes, wishing for the best, and then the log toppled over with a loud thud. Max opened his eyes to the cheer of the crowd. He had done it. The judge looked at Max and said, "Well done, Max, you have won the SuperClaw." McDougal looked at Max with a proud rumble. "You did it, lad." "Speedy meowed, how do you feel?" Max beamed. "Hungry." The end. How many mouses did you find?